All right, welcome to episode 20 of
20.
the Bozos and Buckets podcast.
Yes, sir.
I am
Good
Shay
morning,
here
Shay.
with LeBron James post-game interview. Uh,
How y'all doing?
that's
Count
we
3
gotta
1. It's all good.
we gotta you know what? I just need the suit with the shorts and the briefcase now. That's all I need.
Oh God. Might have to. If we hit 100 subs, I'll do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, what is it? 30 subs and we do a drunk podcast? Is that it?
I think so.
Okay, so
Something like that.
you guys have goals now. 30
For
subs
sure.
and then 100, there's levels.
Suit. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So we gotta
Suit and drunk pod.
suit
for
and
100.
well, you know what? We'll do it drunk in the suits.
Yeah. I fuck with that.
Do Bozos after dark. That'll be
After
the
dark.
edition.
18 plus.
So we got a fun episode today. Obviously there's absolutely zero news in the NBA world. All I know is from the Lakers front is that we're trying to trade for Buddy Hield. We should have did that last year, but better late
Actually,
than never.
there is some news. There is some news. The Prison Association offers Miles Bridges 11 years and 8 months. It's the biggest contract in NBA history thus far.
Shit, give him 12.
Might as well give him 120, to be honest. But yeah, that's the only real thing that I've heard.
I've heard that the Knicks are the ones who are like closest to putting together a package for the Jazz, and it's quote a haul. It's probably going to be as much as Rudy Gobert.
How many picks? They got 5 picks for Rudy Gobert, right? And now they want 7 from the Knicks for Mitchell. What do you need 12 picks for, bro? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
They saw what
I'm not
Sam
gonna
Presti
lie.
was.
You do not need 12 picks, bro.
Well, my thinking is they're not going to use all those picks like in the draft. They're going to probably down
Just
the
use
line
them as
like,
leverage.
just keep the picks and then like use them to trade later if somebody becomes like available, or they use all those picks and trade up for Victor Wembanyama.
Who's stuck in the Jazz? Who's a good player that's stuck on the Jazz? If Mitchell leaves,
I like Bogdanovich. I like Jordan Clarkson.
Clarkson, that fucking sucks.
Pat
I would
Bev's not
hate
staying.
You don't think so?
Nah. A contender's going to trade for him. And the Jazz are going to have like 15 picks. But, yeah, I mean, have you seen the Jazz's new uniforms? Horrible.
Yeah, I was reading a couple articles on Twitter about like how like simplistic the jerseys are getting. I don't like where they're going at all. Because then they drop like their city jerseys and all that, and they're not creative. They just copy their old jerseys. Like
Exactly. Yeah,
it's pretty bad, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the Jazz are just playing with like highlighter font, and then like the Cavs just dropped theirs, and I was like really hoping they'd go back to like the wine and gold color from like the old LeBron days, but that one's simplistic too. So
I mean, bro, nobody's gonna buy any of their jerseys, so they got to make them as cheap as possible. What are you gonna see? The Jazz rocking Clarkson jerseys this season? Like we said, there's Mitchell's probably gone.
yeah, that's crazy.
Or he might start the season, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll make it there. I think he's going to the Knicks. He's a Mets fan too, so he already likes New York. So
oh wow,
good for Mitchell.
I guess the Knicks are freaking doggy.
Well, I mean, they got to do something. They didn't draft a single player, so.
Yeah.
But on tap today, we're gonna
No. Real quick.
Wait, hold on.
Where's your question of the day?
Oh, my question of the day. So I just got back from San Diego. Obviously, I'm repping the hat. So, what's the favorite city you've been to outside of where you live? Mine's probably San Diego or like Carlsbad specifically. Love it down there. So that's mine. It's a tough question though.
I like San Diego, but I don't wanna give the same answer. I've gotten to San Fran. I don't like San Fran. Vegas isn't really for me.
hmm
Miami was cool. Orlando was cool. It just sucks about the humidity, but I think Orlando's like a pretty laid back city, and there's
I
plenty of
bet.
stuff to do. I think
Is
I'm
there a
gonna
lot of
say
old people there?
Orlando. There is a lot of old heads, yes.
Okay, because I know that's the place to retire,
Yeah,
supposedly.
I think I'd go with Orlando. Orlando would be
Sick.
dope from the places that I've gone to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think we both agree. I mean, we can both say San Diego.
Yeah,
It's a great city.
SD's cool. SD's cool. I feel like you might run out of things to do
Hmm.
before you run out in Orlando, but it's nice. Weather's nice. People are nice.
Yeah, that's a place to live for sure for me. Because I just checked out the remember last pod I was like, oh, I might go to the Padres game. I checked it out. It was cool because
What, the game or the stadium? Or what?
the game. I went to the
Hmm.
game and
How
stadium.
was it? It was
It
cool.
was dude. It blew me away, dude. It's so much nicer than Dodgers.
Really?
Like, yeah, the food was great. The seats were great. Um, Only paid like $30 for a ticket, and it was closer than what I would sit at Dodgers for like $50. So
LA's crazy, bro, about everything. That shit is nasty.
yeah,
Makes me
at least
sick.
crazy tax too. But anyway, let's jump right into what we have in store today. So we're gonna do top 10 NBA teams of all time, and then we're gonna do a little bit of like a start bench cut, like would you rather sort of thing. So we'll start with the top 10 NBA teams of all
Just
time.
just to clarify real quick, we're going by season. We're not going by like dynasties and stuff. So like you can't say like first trio of like the Bulls or the second whatever the freaking three-peat. It's like each season's best. So
Yeah, because I think
and
clearly like it was especially like within the Bulls like three-peats, like there was like a best team from each of those
yeah, yeah.
three-peats in my mind.
And then
But
and then we're starting 10 to first. Don't go
yes,
first. And then after first, we'll do like 2 3 honorable mentions.
definitely for sure.
Okay. You can
Um,
start with your 10th.
so for my 10th, okay, so I would just like to preface this with the fact that I was born in 1999, so I did
Holy
not
shit, you old head. Holy, you're so old, bro.
so I didn't watch a majority of these teams. I watched like probably half the teams on this list, but like, okay, I'll
Half?
just start with my number 10. So I have the 2014 Spurs. I think to beat the defending champion Heat in 5 games. I think it's probably the best Spurs team that they had in their dynasty throughout the 2000s and 2010s. I just thought like Kawhi, young Kawhi, they saw Ginobili, Parker, Duncan toward like the end of their careers, but still like getting buckets. And yeah, they beat the defending champion Heat, the back-to-back champion Heat in 5 games. So I thought that was very impressive.
Okay, for the number 10 position,
Mhm.
I chose the 1982-1983 Philadelphia 76ers. The reasoning is because this was the first year that Moses Malone joined the team and he
Mhm.
won MVP, right? Pretty
Right.
good. They also had Julius Irving and Andrew Toney. They all averaged 20 points plus, except
Hmm.
Toney. Toney had 19.7, which is, imagine a trio like running up freaking, what's it called? They're all almost averaging 20 plus points. Like that's pretty crazy. And then
Hmm.
in the playoffs, they went 12-1. They only lost, I think it was the second round because no, first round was a bye. Back then they did buys. Second round was a sweep. Third round they went 4-1, and then they
Hmm.
swept like this random team. It was like his name was Magic Johnson, like Kareem. They like swept the Lakers or something. Yeah, they swept the Lakers in the finals. Champion Lakers, by the way. They had just beat them the season before.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty impressive to do.
That's a great pick. Once we get to our honorable mentions, I'm gonna have those 83 Sixers in there because it was close. But yeah, no, I was really impressed with their stats that you just mentioned. They were a really good team for sure. Um, number 9. I have the 2013 Heat, not for their dominance, but for their ability to literally fight back every series. Like that was one of the greatest playoff runs I've ever seen from LeBron, and I think he took that team to like new. Like if it wasn't for LeBron, obviously they probably wouldn't have gotten there. But like
They would
with
have maybe been a first round exit.
yeah, but with two other Hall of Famers on that team, I just think it was like the Heat Big Three. That was the best version of them constructed was 2013. Who's your number nine?
All right. It's literally the same thing for me. I'm not gonna lie to you, Shay.
The 2013.
They're ninth. In my notes, I put LBJ the GOAT. Obviously, that team that season went on a 27 game win streak in the regular season, which I believe is still the record number 2
hmm
after the Lakers 33. Which I have that team in my top 10 as well. Very very good games. They swept the Bucks. They had a gentleman sweep. It was the series in the Eastern Conference Finals against Paul George's Pacers. A little too young for Paul George, unfortunately. And then obviously, everything that happened with the Spurs.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to add.
Uh-huh.
I feel like LeBron gets a lot of hate for super team, but I also feel like if you compare his teams, super teams, to like the Warriors' latest super teams, like
It's
Dwayne
nothing
Wade, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh are not as much help
as Kevin Durant and
in
Klay
the
Thompson.
finals as Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. Sometimes they disappeared, and that's when they lost. 2011, 2014.
Yeah.
That's when they disappeared. So because of that, they're like ninth because overall their whole run was It could have been a lot better than what really was, but that season alone was very impressive that they clawed back each time.
Yeah,
to,
that's what I mean. I think a lot of times like people are like, oh, that team wasn't as dominant as this team, but I think there's some
is
to be
too
said about fighting back. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But so number 8, I have the 1971 Milwaukee Bucks. It was the first of 6 MVPs for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Get this, he averaged 31 points, 16 rebounds. Dominance. That team also had Oscar Robertson, who was past his prime, but it's still Oscar Robertson. But so what was cool about the Bucks was that they went on a 12-2 postseason run, and they outscored their opponents by well over 10 points per game. It was 10.8 points per 100 possessions in the postseason, and that's one of the most dominant runs, especially back then, to be scoring so much. So, yeah, I have the 1971 Milwaukee Bucks.
They're on my list as well, but they are not number 8. Number 8, I've got the 86-87 Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, okay.
So this was one of the years where it was kind of Kareem starting to slow down a bit. So it started to become Magic's team. He was more of a playmaker before, where he would assist to the scorer, but he kind of had to turn up the scoring a little bit, and he did it pretty well. He averaged 23.9 points. Jabbar had 17.5. He was 39 years old. It's kind of crazy to think about that he was still doing 18. Obviously, look at LeBron averaging 30 points per game at 39 years old. I just keep throwing him in here, bro. He's the fucking goat. Stop playing.
No lines detected, man.
Did you know that they had Byron Scott on their team?
They did have Byron Scott on their team. Yes, they did.
That is very, very weird for me. But yeah, they went what's it called? They went 11-1 throughout 11-1, 12-1. No, what the fuck? My notes are ass. Okay,
the 87
finals,
Lakers were 15-3.
Yeah, but only 2 losses. 2 of their losses were in the finals, so before that they had only lost 1 game, and it was obviously to the rivaled Celtics. So they were playing against they were playing against a good team. One of those Celtics teams may or may not be in my top 7.
I also have the 87 Lakers higher on this list.
Okay. Of
But
course. Of
that's a
course, you
that's a
fucking
great
dirty
pick.
Laker
And
boy.
just quick stats about I'll get to this about like when I get to mine, but Magic Johnson's 60% true shooting percentage. Insane. Granted, he wasn't taking
Um,
like a lot of threes, but
how is true shooting measured? I don't get that.
I
Explain.
I'll have to look it up real quick, but I don't have a definition that would like
I'll
suffice.
just
You
I'll
know what
just
I
get
mean?
back to you on it next episode.
Okay, because like
I'll make a note of it.
it was, I think he was 10th in the league in points per game. But yeah, anyway, so I'll talk more about the 87 Lakers when it's my turn. So number 7, I have the 1986 Boston Celtics.
Wait, NBA news. Nick's likely to be fined for tampering for Jalen Brunson. There.
They have to pay more for him. Crazy.
All right, what's your 7th?
Number 7, I have the 1986 Boston Celtics.
Number 7?
Number 7.
Same.
I just think, what was it? It was a 15-3 run to the postseason. Larry Bird probably played the best basketball of his career during that time. McHale played pretty good. I mean, as a number 2, he had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. Robert Parrish, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 1.4 blocks. Bill Walton, he was actually
I
only
know. He was on that team. Is that not crazy?
wild,
But
absolutely wild.
he was I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 6th man of the year that season.
He was, yes.
He
During
was
the
coming off the bench.
during the postseason, he only played 19 minutes a game, but he had
Still.
7.6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.3 blocks. That's still really good numbers in
And
that
that's
short.
and no, even in 19 minutes he could have done better. But imagine having those 3 other guys on your team, bro. Like, obviously, if you're past your prime and you got 3 good guys, you're gonna be a backup. And I think he did it pretty well.
Hmm.
Which, yeah. But that's also my number 7, so I'm not gonna add too much to it.
Hmm.
They had 67 wins in the regular season, which I believe was a franchise record. And
Was it a league
Yeah.
record at the time?
I don't
That's a lot of wins, especially for the
know
80s.
I don't know if they tied with the Lakers previously. It might have been an NBA record.
Yeah, but
let
It
me
was high. I know. I know
Yeah,
that for
you can
sure.
start speaking on your number 6 while I find if that's true or not.
Yeah, for sure. So number 6, I have the 87 Lakers. The Boston team was really good, but I think it's if we're comparing, I take the Lakers a little better as a little better because even though they had a slightly worse record at 65-17 compared to that Boston team, um, I just thought Magic Johnson and like the supporting cast, like you said, really supported Kareem in that age 39 season, and the perimeter defense of that Lakers team was absolutely insane. I think a lot of people sleep on how good of a defender Michael Cooper was, and they sleep on his importance of those Lakers dynasties because Michael Cooper was defensive dog. So that's why I give the little edge to the Lakers. Obviously, I might be biased, but I thought their play style was better, so that's what put them over the top for me.
Thank you. But I found the answer to the question.
Yeah.
They had 67 wins. However, in the 73 year, they had 68 wins. So it was not a franchise record. I was completely mistaken. And in the 71-72, the Lakers had 69. So just the year before, there was also a team with one more win. And then the 76ers also had 68 in the 67 season. And those are the 3 highest before the 85-86 Celtics. Obviously, that got crushed by the Bulls and then the Warriors.
Those 72 Lakers may or may not be on my honorable mentions.
72 Lakers?
Yeah.
They're actually on my list.
Oh, they're on your list?
Yeah. Sixth for me
Uh-huh.
was the one of the Bulls teams, actually.
Okay, which
The
one?
second best Bulls team on my list. It is the year 1990 to 1991. This
So
is
90,
their first
91,
ring.
92.
No, 1990, 1991.
1990. Okay, I have them on my list as well,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
have them higher.
Okay. How do I say this? Como se dice? This was the first year that the Bulls went all the way to the finals, where they went on their undefeated finals runs. Obviously, plenty of first round exits, plenty of second round exits. Nobody's going to talk about this. They're just going to say 6-0. Jordan had just won, I believe it was his fifth consecutive scoring title, which is absurd.
Absolutely crazy.
But he finally got help.
Yes.
And that help was enough to obviously get them into the championship spot. I believe this was the year they also beat the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. Gosh, that Lakers team just giving out championships. Although, imagine being in the freaking losing in, what is it, 82, 83, and then still being in the finals in 90, 91 with the same two guys. That's insane. So props to them for that, obviously, but we're not talking about the Lakers right now. MJ, 31.5 points, point guard, obviously.
Right.
Number one option. Pippen was 17.8. At the time, they didn't have a great rebounder in Rodman, but they had Horace Grant and John Paxson, both of them putting up good points and good assists. It was a good wing and a post player. So, yeah, that's why they are my number 6.
That's a great choice. Definitely.
Thank you.
Number 5.
Top 5, Shay. Holy shit.
I might catch some heat for this, but I genuinely believe I genuinely believe that this might be one of the greatest accomplishments that a team has ever done. The 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers.
Wow, that's insane.
Okay, so you're like, oh, why are they a top 5 team of all time? That team wasn't that good on paper. You're right, but it's because they weren't so good on paper that it made what they did so impressive. The only team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. Not only did they come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals, they beat the 73-9 Warriors from 3-1 in the NBA finals. It came against the 73 win. LeBron averaged 29 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 2.6 steals, 2.3 blocks, and Kyrie Irving was probably the most clutch player. He had Kevin Love, and then after that, they really didn't have anybody that, like, they had J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Richard Jefferson, Iman Shumpert, Channing Frye. They came back 3-1. That's so impressive. So they're my number 6. They're my number 5.
Dude, I really wanted them to be on my list, Shay. I really, really did.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know. I genuinely believe that if they were healthy the season before, they would have crushed the Warriors as well. And they would have beat them. Yeah, I think they would have They would have beat them both years if they were both completely healthy. LeBron obviously did amazing with no deep cast. Obviously, Kyrie, I guess his prime, because now he's Kevin Love before he got all mental health. Sorry, that's kind of mean, but he focused more on the game than the outside curriculars. I don't know. Of course, 3-1. That's no easy feat, especially having to do Game 7 at the Oracle Arena, which became pretty notable and pretty famous for the fans. They are pretty crazy. The stadiums are always full, always yellow. It's hard arena to play in, and to beat them in such a close game, it's impressive. So I really like them, but I think they're just one of my honorable mentions, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, but I thought top five was like a little rich, but then I thought about it. I'm like down 3-1 in the finals
No, 3-1 is crazy. 3-1 is crazy.
to the 73 win Warriors. They beat the Bulls records of wins in a season.
I know, but it's just giving like 2022 Suns vibes. You know what I mean? Frauds.
But 70, I mean, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. Of course, 73 is way better than 64, but like,
yeah, I mean,
come on,
that's like,
bro. 3-1 and you couldn't bury them? Come on.
that was
Obviously,
supposed to be
it's
the
GOAT.
team. You win 73 games in the regular season. You're the team of destiny. You're the team, like, but then it was total David versus Goliath situation. And I just think that's crazy. Who's your number five, though?
The 71-72 Lakers,
Yeah.
who you spoke of. They had Goodrich, they had West, and they had Chamberlain. I believe this was the first championship that Chamberlain won on the Lakers.
Mhm.
He was obviously a very, very good player, but Bill Russell's Celtics, which aren't on my list.
Okay.
Bill Russell's Celtics were just dominant for 11 years. They didn't have too much competition. Obviously, Chamberlain got a ring here and there.
I think there's
One
only like
second.
you're good. I'll just say like there's only like I think they only played 5 game series. They only played like 5 game series in like those Bill Russell Celtics era, and I think the league was only like what? How many? Like 12 teams?
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, Chamberlain was already a little older. He was the third guy. Goodrich and West were 2 point guards, or not point guards, 2 guards that were very good at scoring. I believe they were both in the top 10. And then, obviously, Chamberlain, he gets old, so he's not as athletic, but he's still freak of nature, tall beast. So he gets like the most rebounds. I think he was averaging 17. And then in the finals, they went 4v1 against the Knicks. Did you know who the Knicks had in that team?
I'm gonna guess Walt Frazier, and that's all I know.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. He saw how good the Lakers were, and that's why he joined us so many years later.
He won 2 chips with the Knicks, though. 70 and 73.
He's probably literally the only person, or like they're like the only group of people that could ever say that. Like, oh yeah, I won 2 titles
For
with
the rest
Knicks.
of basketball history.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's crazy, huh?
I just
6.
imagine.
And then, he's,
And then
bro's got 11 rings, bro.
real quick back to my speaking of like title droughts, that 2016 Cavs team, first ever title for that franchise. So that's impressive too.
Of course, Cleveland. I did this for you.
This is
This
for
is
you. Okay, so are we on number 4?
4, yes, sir.
So I don't, at risk of like not repeating what you already said, number 4, I have the 91 Bulls, the 90-91 Bulls. Real quick, 882, so like .882, so it's about an 88% winning percentage. 13.2 net rating, and that was better than the 97 Bulls that had 78 win percentage and a plus minus and a 6.5 net rating. So they nearly doubled their net rating, better win percentage. So this is one of the best Bulls teams of all time. Second best, wait for the rest of the list. But yeah, what you already said, plus the fact that they blew through the Knicks, the Sixers, and the Pistons, 11-1 run to the finals. Yeah, 91 Bulls.
Can I say something real fast?
Of course.
It's not at all about number 4, but I was just reading about Phil Jackson a little more. Bro has 3 three-peats. That's kind of insane to me.
Oh yeah, 2 with the Bulls, 1 with the Lakers.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's
no, he
nuts.
has what is it? So then he added 2 more. He has 3 three-peats and 1 back-to-back. Because of 2009-2010 Lakers.
Damn. Yeah, 13 chips. That's freaking nutty, bro.
Dude,
That's so
he has
nutty.
3 three-peats and 1 back-to-back. What? That's
Oh God,
crazy.
if 2008 went the other way, bro. If '08 went the other way, that would be
4 three-peats? Are you
nasty.
serious?
Kobe with 6 rings. Damn. Damn.
That would have been, oh my God, the what ifs.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. Nobody could have talked shit to Kobe ever again.
He'd be top 3 for sure. No debate. Nothing. Nothing.
But
Three-peating with
yeah.
frickin' Pau Gasol.
Oh no, no Pal slander on this podcast. I love Pau Gasol.
No, I know. But a three-peat and that's your second, bro? Like, he's great, but, like, that's your second? That's...
I
don't know.
wanted to put I wanted to put the 2010 Lakers on here, but yeah,
Top 15, maybe.
yeah, I'm like I didn't want my bias to get to me, but
Of course.
so who's your number
Um,
4, real quick?
You have already mentioned this team, but it is the 1970-1971 Bucks.
Damn, that's
Kareem,
high.
MVP. Yeah, but, dude, they were good.
They were great.
Kareem
Yeah.
Kareem was MVP that year. He had Oscar Robertson past his prime, like you said earlier, but he still averaged 19.4 points and 8.2 assists, Mr. Triple-Double. He did die down a little bit on rebounds. I believe he was in the 5 to 6 range, which is still pretty impressive. And then they
Very.
also had, what is it? Is his name Bobby? Yeah, Bob Dandridge. He had 18.4 points to put in as well. So I really just think that trios that almost put up 20 points per game is beyond insanity to me.
Mhm.
I have only one team on my list that has 3 players that averaged over 20 points, which you can probably guess who it's going to be. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's
They had
I
5
love that
players.
team.
They had 5 players who put up double-digit scoring on average, and they won 12-2 in the playoffs.
Definitely.
And Kareem is Kareem, bro. He's the freaking greatest scorer of all time for now.
Honestly, like
Till
the
this season.
numbers don't lie. Honestly,
Yeah.
if I had to make this list again, I would put the 2016 Cavs at number 8, and I'd put the 71 Bucks at number 5. Um, but that's the only change I would make. But
I think I'd throw in the 16 Cavs at 10th.
so
Honorable mention.
revised list, I have the 16 Cavs at 8 and the 71 Bucks at 5. Quick edit. Okay, so we're
Number
finally
3.
getting to the top 3. I have the drum roll, please. The
I hope we have the same team.
1996 Chicago Bulls.
No, we don't have the same team.
Oh,
Go for
okay.
it.
Well, my reasoning, obviously, 72 win season. It was an unbreakable record until the Warriors did it. Was it Jordan averaged 30 points, Pippen averaged 19. Shout out Tony Kukoc. Gets forgotten about, but he added 13 points and 3.5 assists, 40% from 3 for Tony Kukoc, sniper. He's one of the big men that, could shoot before it became like crazy popular.
Also had Kerr. Kerr was averaging like 50%. Obviously, it was like 2 or 3 attempts, but still 50%.
51.5%. You're telling me he's making over half his threes?
Locking the over on made threes.
Yeah.
Underdog.
I wish we had underdog or like we
I
were
know.
alive back then.
He's the old Seth Curry.
He's the old lock. Obviously Dennis Rodman, 15 rebounds a game. Jesus
Insane.
Christ, especially in that era. They outscored teams by 12 points per game.
12.1 points, yep,
Yeah.
in the postseason.
Statistically, this is the best Bulls team ever created. Probably the highlight of like a culmination of, I know they won like 2 more chips after that, I think, but it was like the culmination of their greatness. So,
Right.
yeah. Who do you have at
I
3?
feel like you might have this team higher if you haven't already mentioned them.
Yeah.
The 2000 and 2001 Los Angeles Lakers. They had
I
a
do.
mid-season from everything that I was reading,
Mhm.
but when they did get to the playoffs, they swept the first 3 teams. It was looking like freaking LeBron against, what was it, like the fucking Pacers, the Raptors, when he was just making all of them like look like little boys.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then this was the first season where you could argue, I personally wouldn't say this, that Kobe became the number 1 on the team,
Mm-hmm.
He did average 28.5 points in the finals, which is good, but obviously Shaq had 28.7, beat him by point 0.2. Shaq obviously led in rebounding too, but Kobe had a little bit more assists. Obviously, he's not the best passer in the world either. Good passer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't choose to pass. I'll say that instead. So, obviously, one of the greatest duos to play the game. And they were just unstoppable. I wish their chemistry lasted a bit longer to see them potentially three-peat again, but obviously Shaq got traded and a bunch of stuff went down after 2003, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I have them at number 3 just because that was their peak year, but I think they overall could have been a better dynasty. That's why they're not ranked as high for me.
Right. So,
You better not have the Warriors at your number 1. They better be your number fucking 2. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a great segue to my number 2 team, the 2017 Golden State Warriors.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think they're the team that literally broke modern basketball. When they signed, like when Durant signed, I think the entire NBA fan base outside of the Warriors said this shit's unfair. Kevin Durant and Steph Curry were ranked 3rd and 5th respectively in offensive efficiency, plus minus. Then you put the top 5 offensive players in the league and you couple that with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Insanely unfair. 67 wins. They had 7 players average at least 22 points. That seems like a fake stat to me. It's so unbroken.
I don't think that's right, Jay.
It says 7 players averaged at least 22 points and posted a 56 plus effective field goal percentage that season.
22 points, 7 players? Who were the other 4 players?
I think they also...
I don't know, Shay.
Maybe it's at least scored at least 22 points, like during a time, but
22 because
averaging would make sense.
KD, Curry, and Klay all averaged 22 plus points. I believe Curry was at 27 and Durant was at 28, and Klay was just at 22. But if Klay just made the cusp of 22, I doubt Draymond is scoring 22. Iggy's scoring 22. Sean Livingston is not scoring 22. He's scoring like 10. So maybe they all at least dropped 22 points once, but it was a very well-balanced team. And it was their first year with Durant, so they merged very well, because usually I know there's like some growing pains, and they didn't even show them. It was really, really impressive what they did. But they're just not my number 1.
Who's your number 2?
Same team as yours.
The Golden State Warriors, number 7. Yeah.
Number 1, Shay?
Number 1. Dun, 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 dun. How did you know? It was the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers. So my reasoning for this is, I think if the 2001 Lakers played the 17 Warriors and played the 96 Bulls, the 2001 Lakers would win. That's what deciphered my top 3.
Wait, repeat that?
I think if the 2001 Lakers played the 2017 Warriors and the 96 Bulls, the 2001 Lakers would win.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
So my reasoning is that was probably the most dominant playoff run of all time. 15-1 in the playoffs. They honestly probably would have went 16-0 if they didn't drop game 1 to the Sixers.
Well, Allen Iverson had 48 points, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's you can only do so much.
But they were one insane game away from a playoff sweep. That's insane. Shaq averaged 33 points, 16 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 3.4 blocks in the playoffs.
I believe that was in the finals.
That was in the finals. Playoff as a whole was 35.9 points, 15.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 2.9 blocks.
Yeah.
insane. So
Crazy.
like my question on that Warriors team, who's guarding Shaq? Draymond?
Mm, I think it's a matter of outscoring each other, and I think the Warriors bring that because 3-pointers are better than 2-pointers.
I promise you, Prime Kobe is locking Steph. I promise you.
Clay, who's on Clay? Clay will
Who
drop you
was?
38 points in one quarter. In one quarter, by the way. 38
They
points.
had an. So they had a lot of good. No. Who's that? Ron Harper, Robert Ory. Those are probably
Rory
going
was
to
old.
Clay. Yeah, but
Clay is outrunning him every day, getting the open shot. And who's guarding KD? It's not Shaq. It's not Shaq.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's gonna be a hard one. But I think
If you
that
if
they
you
could
still
just...
go with the Lakers, that's cool. But
No, I'm still going with the Lakers because I think
Yeah.
nobody's guarding Shaq, and
Of course not.
I think the Lakers would do
They
a
could just
great
put a
job.
big body on him. Who was the big for the 16-17 Lakers? It was Zaza, or was it
It was Draymond. He was listed as a starting center.
Draymond's not stopping him, but he could do some work for sure. But he's not stopping him. He could play the mental game a little, get him in foul trouble, limit his minutes a little bit, but I don't think he's stopping him over a series. But I think overall the Warriors will outscore the Lakers.
Yeah, well, it's a tough one because these are all like hypotheticals, and it depends like what rules they're playing by. Because the Lakers, the 0-1 Lakers, especially in that era, it was like
Well, let's just say
half court offense, slow pace. So
let's just say wherever they would play home court advantage, they would play by their era of rules. So that would still give the Warriors the home court advantage because they had the better record. So in 7 games, the Warriors would squeeze it out, I believe. I think everyone would win their home games.
maybe I'd like to think these hypotheticals in like neutral sites, because home court advantage is like a big deal, and so. But I think especially with the 0-1 Lakers, the 17 Warriors, and the 96 Bulls, I have no problem with any like order of those rankings.
I
'Cause
do have a
think
problem. The Warriors cannot be number 1. That's it. That's it. They're
yeah,
not.
I just think those are the 3 best teams of all time.
Yeah.
Just respectfully,
Oh, for
like
sure.
saying no order, those are the 3 best teams of all time. So, who's your number one's obviously the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. Second best record, obviously, in NBA history, 72-10. MJ had 30 points, Pippen had 19.5, Rodman 15 rebounds. They were the highest margin of winning because earlier you mentioned the Bucks with 10.8 in the 71 season.
71 season, yeah.
These guys had 12.1, which is ridiculous. Obviously, it's per 100 possessions, so it might have been more, it might have been less per game, but on average, that's how much they were outscoring by, which kind of reminds me of these last year playoffs where it's just blowout after blowout. Not too impressive. Like the Sixers against, what was it, the Raptors?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my top 10 list. I
So
wouldn't really
basically,
change too much. Maybe add the Cavs to the 10th spot.
what I'm hearing is MJ had more help than LeBron.
Dude. Yes. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
LeBron has fucking Rodman, bro.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need Pippen. He just needs Rodman, bro.
Crazy.
Bro, LeBron and Rodman win in 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. Cool. So those are our top 10 lists. Obviously Simon would add the 2016 Cavs. Who are you kicking off that list to add them?
Number 10, the 82-83 Sixers.
Yeah. Real quick,
Honorable
I'm just gonna
mentions,
run through.
3 of them.
Okay. I have 4, if that's cool. I'm just gonna list them off.
Yeah, go for it.
83 Sixers, 72 Lakers, 1967 Sixers. That was the 100-point season, Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah,
And then the 89 Pistons.
cool. No particular season, but any other of the Bulls teams that I didn't mention. Probably like
Of course.
yeah. The Warriors 2014, 2015 were pretty icy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Pistons in 89 were pretty nice. Uh, any of the other Boston teams. The Sixers team that you mentioned, I like. Obviously, Chamberlain and Lamore in his prime.
Yeah. Shout out Bill Russell Celtics.
And late '90s Spurs. I believe personally we're better than the 2014 Spurs that you mentioned
Mm.
with
They were
Duncan and Robinson.
Yeah. They also had Steve Kerr.
Of course, 5 championships too.
Yeah.
9 now. He's
Yeah,
only
I
4
just
behind
like
Phil Jackson.
I just like the versatility of that 14 Spurs team, and they also had
Of
Danny
course.
Green. So, young defensive guy, turned out to be superstar Kawhi Leonard. He was the Finals MVP that year. So, yeah. But yeah, those are our top 10 teams plus our honorable mentions. Also, it's hard to rank
Oh,
these like
one more,
uh-huh.
but way at the bottom for honorable mentions. Way
Yeah.
at the bottom. The team that divided the 2 three-peats from the Bulls, the Rockets.
Oh, great pick. Honorable mention to the Rockets, the 94 and 95 Rockets.
But
Shout out,
they were at the bottom for me.
yeah. Shout out, of course, the 2009-2010 Lakers.
No.
Although, like, they did, like, I won't get into specifics because we don't really have time for that. But yeah, no, 2009-2010 Lakers. Also, the 2015 Warriors, like you said, that was before they became cringy, and they were actually like a likable team.
And also, one more. Very
Uh-huh.
controversial now, and I don't like the players. But and unfortunately, they never won a championship because they were in the middle of MJ's dominance. But it was the Jazz, 96, 97 Jazz.
No, jail.
Honestly, now, yeah, fuck them. But
At
but
the
they were
time,
still at the time a very solid team. Before they thought, I'm not even gonna say it.
yeah, no, they're the most problematic duo of all time, without question.
Literally.
Um,
Okay, let's get into this start bench cut.
Start bench cut.
I'm
So
excited.
I'm gonna give 3 players, and then
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
give
have
them to me?
I'm gonna have Simon start bench and cut, and then of course at the end I'll chime in if I have anything different. So Simon, your first start bench cut is Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, and Kawhi Leonard
Right now,
right now. But Kawhi's healthy. Assume Kawhi's healthy.
cut
I
Tatum,
won't.
bench Butler, and start Kawhi. No doubt.
That's mine too. I think healthy Kawhi is better than both of them.
Healthy Kawhi is maybe not scoring as much, but he is limiting those defensive his defensive works does a lot too. Speaks a
Watching
lot.
all those Clippers Lakers games, I've never seen Kawhi
We really
miss
shat
a
on y'all. We really shat on y'all. That was crazy.
I've never seen Kawhi miss a mid-range jumper against the Lakers. He has not
It was
missed.
like
I swear.
hey, it was like 6 consecutive games, huh? That the Clippers had on the Lakers. That shit was crazy. That was a championship all on its own, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. We ran LA for like a season and a half.
No, dude. Y'all ran LA with like Lob City, bro. We were starting in like Jody Meeks and like Ryan Kelly and like Robert
For a
Sacre.
second, when we were about to get to the number 1, I wanted to say the Clippers as a joke just to see your reaction. But I was like, nah, this is stupid. But yeah, I did want to say Lob City.
Ridiculous. Oh my god. And then number 2. So I have this one's fun for me because I love 3-point shooting. I love snipers. This last guy you may not see as a sniper, but he's been top 5 in 3-pointers made the past 2 seasons, so he is a sniper. So the list is Buddy Hield, Seth Curry, and Fred VanVleet. These are players, not just because they're like not in terms of like 3-point shooting ability, just players, but they're all
In
snipers.
general,
Yeah,
who did you think I wouldn't say was a sniper?
VanVleet.
Oh no, he can shoot, bro. He's fucking good.
Top 5 in 3-pointers made past
Overall,
2
as
seasons.
players, I would cut
Yeah.
Seth Curry. I would bench Buddy Hield, and
Yeah.
I would start VanVleet. However, as 3-point shooters, I'm switching VanVleet and Buddy Hield because Buddy Hield is one of my favorite players
I
in the
love
league.
Buddy Hield.
He is always on my fantasy team. He's just on shit teams.
Oh,
I
he's
really want to see him on the Lakers. Even
he
or
would
if
be
we
so
could
good for
somehow
us.
package for him. If we could somehow package for him, that would be crazy.
If we get
Send out
Buddy Hield.
Kennard. Send out Kennard.
No, they're not. They're not
In a
accepting
second,
Kennard.
I'm sending out Kennard
Yes.
for Buddy Hield.
I agree with that in terms of like players. No argument from me. Number 3, we got some young guns. We got Ant, LaMelo, and Dejounte Murray.
Murray's cut. LaMelo's on the bench. Ant is starting.
Damn, dude, I really genuinely hate how I'm agreeing
They're all the
with you.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm like agreeing with you in like all of these. I'm like,
Dejounte
I don't
Murray's
even know.
good, bro, but like he's like not on a terrible team, but he's like on a decent team. I think his stats could be a lot better, and he could have a
Yeah.
lot more highlights than what he does.
And I like LaMelo a lot. I just think Ant's a lot better.
Ant
I
is
think Ant-
crazy.
Ant's different.
It's crazy.
So, all right. So now the final 2 are going to be some big men.
Those
So we
don't
got
exist that much anymore.
We got well, not big men like traditional centers, but I'll get to it. So the first one, we kind of have more of the defensive big man in Rob Williams, Miles Turner, and Clint Capella.
Right now, I'd cut
Right now.
Capella. No cap. I'd cut
Absolutely,
Capella
no
right now.
question.
And then you said who else?
Miles Turner and Rob Williams. And I just want to say this: I put
Turner's
Capella
on the
in here
bench, and I'm starting Williams.
Yep, yeah, 100% agree. No problem. I put
Capella
Capella.
is doing mid right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's still better than Sabonis, but
Oh, yeah, hold on. This is exactly why I put Capella on this list because I just wanted to hear you cut him. So,
oh man, he's doing so mid right now. But the Hawks next season are something to watch.
they're gonna be fun. Next one, Cat Bam Sabonis. Obviously, yeah, I know which one I'm doing, but
I'm cutting Bam respectfully. Sabonis is on my bench, and Cat is starting after this season.
yeah,
Is it
I
a match
agree.
or no? You agree? Fuck yeah.
yeah, we haven't disagreed with a single one of these.
Yeah, bro, it just all makes sense.
The final 2 were a little strategic because I wanted you to cut Capella and keep Sabonis because Simon thinks Capella is better than
Yeah,
Sabonis.
you're a dumb cunt, bro.
But yeah, those are the 5 start bench cuts for today. I figured, five is enough unless you want to keep going, unless you can name another one off the dome.
Let's see.
But yeah, those are my 5 that I just came up with last night. I think this is a fun segment.
If I find one all time, would you do it?
Yeah,
Or no,
sure.
here.
Okay.
Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh. Hold on, so it's Beal,
Booker, Mitchell.
and Booker.
Yep.
Oh.
Before you answer, I just found one. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kristaps Porzingis. Like what, bro?
That's a tough one, man. This might be a hot take, but I'm cutting Porzingis. Knicks fans, Mavs fans, Wizards fans, do not come at me.
Especially Knicks fans.
Obviously, you got to start Kareem and bench Wilt. I love Kareem too much to bench him.
What about for your actual list?
Beal, Mitchell, and Booker. That's a tough one because like they're all in like that range.
I think I have my
Are we
list
doing
now.
like? Are we doing like team accomplishments or just pure like
overall
talent?
just them?
I'm starting Beal because I'm a Beal truther.
It's not that hard, sir.
It is hard because okay, so I'm benching Mitchell and I'm cutting Booker.
Excellent, Shay. Excellent. You did a
Yeah,
great job there.
that's
Last one.
hard. That's a hard one. Okay.
Last one. Bol, Boban Marjanovic, Taco Fall.
Um, I'm starting Boban.
Uh-uh.
I love Boban too much. This is just pure off of like who I like better.
Bol.
Boban, Bol, and then Taco Fall.
Nah, I think Bol because he's actually saucy, bro. If you've seen his handles for 7'3", bro, that is crazy. Boban's obviously a very nice guy, but mm. I'd have him second because I think he's actually better at basketball than Taco Fall.
Yeah, yeah. Taco Fall is. I mean, shout out Taco Fall. He's doing good. I think
Yeah,
he's
you
actually
fucking
like a
8'11"
genius too.
beast. He probably is, bro.
Yeah,
He was from UCF, I believe.
yeah. Shout out UCF in Orlando, University in Orlando.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah, damn. You know what? That Beal Mitchell Booker one was probably the best one because that was a tougher one. But yeah, start Beal, bench Mitchell, cut Booker. I think that's the only way to do it. I think people forget how good Donovan Mitchell was in the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Those runs are crazy. But I think that just about wraps it up for today, Simon.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Got nothing else to say.
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty dead. Like, holy smokes, it's dead. So, hopefully we come up with something for next week that's solid.
yes. We're coming to you. This is obviously, we didn't drop on Wednesday, um, or Thursday, but today's Friday, so we will have another episode Wednesday as scheduled. Yesterday was my seventh anniversary with my beautiful girlfriend Lauren. Shout out Lauren.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, thank you. And so yeah, so we're uploading on Friday. We'll still have another one next Wednesday. Instagram Bozos _ Buckets. Spotify, make sure you rate us on there. Five stars if you love us. Subscribe to the YouTube, and we should have a Twitter going soon. But yeah, you know where to find us. Email us if you have an idea for an episode. Obviously, you have any comments. You want Simon to stop wearing that dumb hat? Just comment it down below. So, yeah, that just about wraps it up for today, Simon.
Bye.
But